Hi everybody, I'm going to show you a really simple way to collect data on your iPad. I'm going to begin actually by creating a Google form, and I'm going to be building my form on my computer, on my laptop, not on my iPad. I'm going to transfer the form over to my iPad later. So we all are collecting data on a pretty regular basis. So this is a really easy way to collect data on our iPads by beginning with a Google form. So you'll probably want to begin with student names. And I often tell people to use the drop-down option for student names just because it takes up less space on your screen and you'll have to do less scrolling. So here's a little fun fact. I'm going to actually go into a spreadsheet that I've already created with my students' names. You can export that from Skyward, or maybe your school's office has provided you with a class list. I'm just going to copy the names of my students, and then I'm going to go back into my form, and I'm just going to paste them in. Boom. That's all there is to it. I actually don't have to type each name in manually. And then you have to decide, what is the data you want to collect? For this little demonstration, maybe I'm going to do some habits of success. So let's start with something like homework completion, even though if you know me, you know I'm not a huge fan of homework, but I'll let that slide. Okay, so, since we are using a 3-2-1 scale, perhaps I could use the linear scale option of 1 to 3. That would be an easy way to do it. Maybe for effort, I want to do the same thing. A linear scale of a 3, 2, and a 1. You might choose to do something like a yes or a no. Whatever you choose is absolutely fine. And you can have as many items as you want. Maybe I'll do one more on respect. And then I'm also going to use my little 3, 2, 1 scale. And that's it. Let's go ahead and preview. This is what my form looks like. You'll notice that, there's not a whole lot on the screen, and that's going to make it easier when I transfer it to my iPad. See how the names expand when I need them? And then I just have my 3, 2, 1. Okay, before I move on, I'm going to go into my form, click on responses, and click on this spreadsheet here. And I'll give it a name. Data collection. I'm going to create my spreadsheet, which will be attached to my form, so all the data will populate right into that spreadsheet. And I'm going to do something called conditional formatting. Essentially, before I even create my form, I'm going to color code the responses that come in. And I think this is going to be really helpful to me. So I'll show you what that looks like. Format, conditional formatting. And I'm going to tell my form that anything in the range of C, D, or E, any of those columns, I'm going to tell it that if the value is equal to 3, I want it to remain green. If it's equal to 2, I want it to turn yellow. And if it's equal to 1, you guessed it, I'd like it to turn pink. Done. So that's all set up for me, and I will do a quick side-by-side for you. Another really great trick, just so you guys all know, is I'm on a Mac. If I click on this green expand button here, I can do a side-by-side of my screen. Cool. Okay, let's try my little form. So Danica has been doing her homework consistently. Her effort's great, but she is really disrespectful. Watch my screen on the right so you can see what happens. Notice the colors changing? So imagine if I had this form at my fingertips just when I need it. I don't even need to fill it all out. Maybe I'm just watching for effort from Shane. So you see it comes in and it will be color-coded based on the response. Okay? So I'm sure you can think of dozens of ways you might want to collect data in this way. Now what I'm going to do is back to my form here. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to get rid of this guy. Let's expand again. So the next thing I need to do is take this whole URL and shorten it so that I can type it into the Safari app, which is a browser on my iPad. So I'm going to copy this link. This is a great little shortener here. to shorten the link. Or if you don't have that extension, it's actually called goo.gul. You can type in your browser goo.gul and take any really long URL, paste it in, and it will shorten it for you after you tell the computer you're not a robot. So shortening the link. Okay, this is what it's giving me. goo.gul /7 lowercase k 5t capital T lowercase p. All right, next thing I need to do is take that shortened link and I need to open up my iPad and type it into Safari. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, last step, I'm going to open up the Safari browser on my iPad and I'm going to type in that Google shortened link that I had created off of my laptop, and it's going to take me to my form. Notice it doesn't take up a lot of space on the screen. You can expand there to get student names. And I want to have this at my fingertips. Well, at the very, very top of the screen, you'll see up here to the right of the address window, there's a square with an arrow up. I'm going to tap that, and it's going to give me several options, but the one I'm most interested in is the one with the plus that says Add to Home Screen. So I'm tapping that. You can name this form whatever you'd like. Data collection's just fine, and I'm clicking Add. And now you'll see a new app has been added. It's really a shortcut that says Data Collection. And I'm actually going to hold that and slide it down to my dock because I want it at my fingertips so that whenever I want to grab my iPad and collect a little bit of data on my students, the form opens up. And then I'll always be able to have the spreadsheet to refer back to with my data. Hope that helps you. It's been a great strategy for a lot of us who've been using iPads in our classrooms. Enjoy.